Today we're going to talk about reducing relative clauses. Relative clauses, also known as adjective clauses, can sometimes be reduced. Let's look at some examples where they can. The man fixed the bike which he had in his garage. In this case, the relative pronoun which is the direct object of the relative clause. So you can think of the sentence, he had the bike in his garage, which he had in his garage. When the relative pronoun is the direct object, it can be omitted, and you can have the sentence, the man fixed the bike he had in his garage. Another example, he fixed the bike for his friend, whom he gave the bike to. In this case, the relative pronoun is an indirect object. He gave the bike to his friend. The bike is the direct object. To his friend is the indirect object. When the relative pronoun is the indirect object, it can be reduced, and you can be left with the sentence, he fixed the bike for his friend he gave the bike to. Another example, the friend liked the bike that the man talked about. In this case, that, the relative pronoun, is the object of a preposition. You can think of the sentence, the man talked about the bike. In this case, the relative pronoun that is the object of a preposition can be omitted or deleted. And you'll get the sentence, the friend liked the bike the man talked about. This is a possible sentence. All three of these cases, whether the relative pronoun is a direct object, an indirect object, or the object of a preposition, in all these cases you can eliminate the relative pronoun to reduce the relative clause or adjective clause. But let's look at some other examples. The man likes bikes which are in good condition. In this case, the relative pronoun is the subject, which is acting as the subject of the relative clause. Can it be reduced? Yes, it can. In cases where the relative pronoun is the subject and the verb is the be verb, you can omit both the relative pronoun which and the be verb are. So you'll be left with the sentence, the man likes bikes in good condition. This is a possible reduction. Another example, he rides a bike that was painted blue. Here we have another be verb. In this case, the be verb plus the past participle form the passive. In this case, the relative pronoun and the be verb, which is an auxiliary verb, the main verb is paint or painted. In this case, the relative pronoun that and the auxiliary be verb can be deleted, which leaving you with the sentence, he rides a bike painted blue. Another example, I know the man who is fixing the bike. In this case, the relative pronoun is again the subject in front of the be verb, be auxiliary verb, which is in front of the present participle. Be plus the present participle is progressive, is fixing. In this case, again, the relative pronoun and the be verb can be deleted, leaving you with the sentence, I know the man fixing the bike. Finally, I don't know anyone who is better at fixing bikes than him. Here the relative pronoun is who, it's followed by another be verb and then an adjective phrase. In this case, we can eliminate the relative pronoun plus the be verb, and we'll be left with a sentence, I don't know anyone better at fixing bikes than him. In these four cases, whether the relative pronoun is a subject followed by a be verb, whether it's the subject followed by the be plus an auxiliary in the passive or an auxiliary in the progressive, or if the be is followed by an adjective phrase. In this case, the relative pronoun and the be verb can be deleted to reduce the adjective clause. Pay attention though, because the important part here is not just the relative pronoun is reduced or eliminated or deleted, but also the be verb. You must delete both. This is very important. Let's look at another example. The man likes bikes that have new wheels and tires. In this case, we have the verb have. Can it be reduced? Well, it's not really a reduction, but it can be paraphrased. The relative pronoun that and the verb have can be paraphrased with the word with. So instead of the man likes bikes that have new wheels and tires, you could say the man likes bikes with new wheels and tires and have essentially the same meaning. You're paraphrasing it. You're saying the same thing with different words. Another example, he puts new tires on bikes that don't have good tires. Here, again, we have that is the relative pronoun, and we have the verb have, but it's negative. It's made negative with don't. In this case, again, we can paraphrase the same idea by using the word without. He puts new tires on bikes without good tires. Not really a reduction, but a useful paraphrase. Finally, have you ever ridden a bike that needed to be repaired? Here, the relative pronoun that is the subject of the verb need. Can this be reduced? This is not a be verb. Notice that because that is important. Can we reduce it to have you ever ridden a bike needed to be repaired? No, we cannot. It's not possible to make these reductions unless when the relative pronoun is the subject, unless it's followed by the be verb. So when the relative pronoun is an object, you can reduce it. If the relative pronoun is the subject, it's followed by the be verb. In some cases, you can reduce it. If the relative pronoun is the subject followed by the verb have, you can paraphrase it. But if the relative pronoun is the subject and the verb is not a be verb or a verb have, it cannot be reduced. That's all for reducing relative clauses. I hope that you found this information helpful. Thanks for listening.